My altcoin buying entries. There is a certain list with altcoins that I'm gonna buy, and in this video, I would just like to show you when I'm gonna buy them. So we're gonna take a look at the market, where these altcoins could potentially go if the market takes a good drop, and what the best moments are to get into these altcoins. And of course, you can get to see the list. In this video, I would like to show you where I will buy them, if I would buy them with dollars, with USDT or whatever. And in the next video, I would like to show you where I will buy these altcoins if I would buy them with my Bitcoin. If people have accumulated Bitcoin over the last year, they are up quite hard. But altcoins are not up that much against Bitcoin as against the dollar, because the dollar is still the same and Bitcoin has gone up. So altcoins on the Bitcoin pair are much lower to the bottom, which could give you way better entries for if we finally do see an alt season. So let's take a look at that. Like the video if you already liked the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. And let me show you one little thing. There's Patreon link down below where you can find exclusive videos, follow big influencer wallets, get one-on-one calls, you name it, moonshot calls. Do take a look at it. Now, I would like to go over a list with altcoins that I think are interesting. I can, of course, not name them all. There are way too many altcoins which are actually good, and you can't have them all in your portfolio. So if you feel like, hey, why not this altcoin? Why not that altcoin? Well, because I have enough as it is. But if you have a really good suggestion, something I need to take a look at, let me know down below. To find the best altcoin entries, you of course first have to think that you know, that you guess, to speculate where the market could go, right? Nobody knows. But if you feel like, hey, Bitcoin looks like it's going to take a good hit, then you're not going to buy altcoins right now. If you think like, hey, Bitcoin might just go sideways or go up, hey, then this is maybe already a good time. You can dollar cost average already. And for people that have no allocation at all, I would say just dollar cost. You will be fine if you just dollar cost. But if you are under the impression that the market could go down a little bit, you could already also dollar cost, but then you can already guess that these altcoins will go down with it. Now, my opinion is, maybe some people already know what my opinion is that Bitcoin could take a good hit. Why do I say that? Because it's cyclical. Bitcoin always take a good hit before the halving comes, and then it goes up. And also, like I said in a couple of videos ago, we just got rejected from the 0.618, and that's not just a level, that's a level where we always got rejected from every cycle, this cycle as well, this cycle as well. So it's a very seasonal, that we just had a wick which happened to be exactly to the 0.618 retracement. And after that happened, we always had a correction of at least 40%. Here it was 40%. Here it was 53%. And in the first cycle, by the way, but there it was a little newer and more volatile, but okay, 40%, 39, 40%. So if we, now Bitcoin so far has taken a hit of top to where we are right now, 12%. If this is it, hey, it could be. Then this time is very different, but we just got the rejection last week, so that was exactly the same. So I don't expect things to now be different if it was still the same until last week, right? So if we do get a hit of 40%, then it could take Bitcoin, I'll have it here, it will take Bitcoin to around 29, let's say $30,000. If it takes a bigger hit, like it happened before as well, then it could take Bitcoin to the lower 20s. I know a lot of people feel like, nah, FOMO, this is bearish. This is not possible. It happened every time before, but now I am invested. So now it's not possible. Please. Yes, it is also possible this time. The news, etc. It doesn't matter, because if it did, then the chart wouldn't look exactly the same as all the cycles before it went down, right? So please keep in mind, I'm not saying it will happen, but I am saying it is very likely the cycle is doing the same thing as all the other cycles, and all the other cycles it went down as well. So we'll be don't try to ignore the fact that the that it is one, likely, and two, well, highly likely. And hey, maybe this time plays out a little different, right? But yeah, don't completely count on it. That will get you wrecked, right? So if we assume that Bitcoin takes a 40% hit, are we waiting until we reach that 40% before we start to buy? No, I'm not, right? Because I know 40% was the smallest amount of dump that all happened before. It doesn't mean the dump cannot be smaller this time. Maybe we will bounce at 32 because there is some huge support right there. And if we do that, then it would mean that the hit is only 35%, for example. Right now, if it's 35%, that's close enough. But if you don't buy there and wait for that 40, which might never happen, and we go up again, then the whole dump was for nothing and you haven't allocated, right? So it's, in my opinion, a good idea to maybe just dollar cost this whole area. If Bitcoin comes close to 30 and a half, give or take, start dollar costing right there, right? Now, you can make it very simple. You can have your list of altcoins and you could say like, okay, I'm not even looking at these prices. I just wait for Bitcoin to hit that target and then I'm gonna buy these altcoins. And maybe that's the best way to do it. However, we can take a look like, hey, how could altcoins, potentially react if Bitcoin has this cyclical season? Now, the answer completely 100% depends on the Bitcoin dominance, because if the Bitcoin dominance goes up during that dump, then altcoins get wrecked harder. If the Bitcoin dominance stays flat, then altcoins get wrecked just as much. If the dominance goes down, then altcoins will do a little better than Bitcoin. Yeah, and what you see is, for example, right here, the altcoin market went from 20 billion here to 10 billion. So this was a drop of 50%. So that was kind of the same. Here we had a drop for Bitcoin of 40%. The altcoin market went from 500 million. Can you imagine just 500 million for the complete altcoin market to $230 million. So this was slightly more than 50%. So, here altcoins took a little bigger hit, and here altcoins took around the same. So let's say it's kind of the same for altcoins. Well, that means that if we do again take a look at Bitcoin right now, because we already had a drop, right? So from this point, if we go down to these levels, it's a correction of 30%. Now, 30% doesn't sound that weird, right? I know a lot of people say like, yeah, it cannot go down 30%. It's not possible. But if you do take a look at if we are in a bull market and you take it from the highs to some lows, here it went down 28%, here it went down 40%, here it went down 36%, here it went down 34%. So we have 30% corrections all the time. But it doesn't really stand out because we also have 100% of pumps. And you can say like, yeah, well, but if it keeps pumping and then goes down 30%, you still buy it cheaper or more expensive than what you could have before. And that's true. That's definitely true. We are already in this pump right here. And Bitcoin, to be honest, the corrections that it took so far, including this wick, which was the biggest part of the pump, it was 22%. Right here, we had a dump of 19%. Here we had a dump of 22% again, right? It's like not that much, right? Right, like not that much yet. So a 30% pump, again, will be very seasonal. And I expect that 30, 31, like I don't think 29 is going to happen. If it does happen, then I would suspect that it's going to 25 as well, because that's where the major support is sitting. Lower than that, I don't really see it go. But if we don't even get there, then I think like, okay, yeah, then it's going to be 31, 32, give or take. And from this current price, That's around a 26% bump. So a dump. So let's take a look at these altcoins that I'm looking at, down 26%, give or take, in that area. Where is their support sitting? Now, the first one is Altora. I think that, and by the way, most of this is gaming, right? Most of this is gaming, layer ones, infrastructures, all of that. So far, everything is holding up well, right? What we have seen with Altora, for example, is this is the bull market support band, that red and green line. That's a super important moving average that really shows us like, hey, is something bullish or bearish? We wick below it, but we close exactly above it, and that's super important. So far, this is holding. And if it goes below it, then it usually drops quite hard below it, right? Here as well, we close below it, and from the moment we close below, we went down another 24%. Here, we went below it, and we dipped all the way with 21%. Once we are really in a bear market, it of course can go down very hard. But once we actually go below it, the dip is usually quite big. So if it's around like 25%, right, for Altora, I must say the first level is 4.3 cents. That's for Altora, a level that I think is super important and it should hold. If it doesn't, then I would say the 0.382 on the Fibonacci, it's minus 33%. So, of course, around 25% dump is average. Anything above or below could happen. Therefore, dollar cost, right? It could go to 4.3 cents and you'll be like, okay, let's go fully in. But if it goes way below that, yeah, then way lower prices are possible. And it's good to have some money for when that happens as well. Next one, AVAX. AVAX, like, come on, man, off the grid is coming to AVAX. How can you not be bullish just only on that narrative? So AVAX is a chain that I think is super great for a long-term hold. And it just had a pump of 470%. Now you could say like, oh, look, it's going down and you can already buy 30% cheaper. I'm more looking at it like, nah, we're still buying a pump of 320%, right? And of course, we won't go back to these lows, at least, of course, like that's not what I expect, but you never know. But it could definitely go down a little bit more. Now with AVAX, I feel like, yeah, 25% by the time, that's kind of where the bull market support band is coming in as well. What I think is most interesting and important is that AVAX, if it goes down, that it bounces off this level of around $23, give or take, because that was really the range for AVAX for a long time. We had a lot of stuff, some support, some resistance, a lot of stuff going on right here. Resistance here, multiple weeks resistance here before we finally broke out. So, you know how patterns work, right? You are in a range, you break out, and usually you retest before you go up even further. Well, the retest hasn't even played out yet, right? So I, of course, and now we see the retrace. So of course we don't do something like this. We go, I think we should definitely retest it. So 23, 24 maybe dollars for AVAX, super great entry. Now, there is, of course, a very bad case scenario. Hey, if we do get a big recession, if the Fed comes in and starts to cut rates, right? That's usually short-term bearish for crypto. It could be that we fall back in this range. Hey, if that happens, it's a blessing in disguise, right? Then we can maybe buy it at $16.50. Most important thing is that we at least stay here and don't go below that. Otherwise, it's... yeah, lights out for AVAX and a lot of other altcoins. But in first instance, I would say, hey, $23 should be a good place to bounce right there. Next one, yeah, Beam is definitely something that I am interested in buying. Beam is a little harder to talk about though, because Beam is, yeah, pretty new. We don't have a lot of information on Beam yet when it comes to the chart. You could work with the Fibonacci tool like this, but I don't know, like, yeah, it's quite accurate, by the way, that 618, it's beautiful. I think that Beam, yeah, I honestly don't really care. Anything around 1.6 cents looks like a great entry, and if we get a chance at around 1.34 cents, take it. That's all I can say about Beam. Chain GPT, Not at the top of my list necessarily. Engine starter is one of the better launch pads out there, and I think that this is definitely one that will do great in the bull run. If I look at engine starter, it's kind of the same, right? This area right here at around 0.006 was good resistance. Here it tested as support as well after a small breakout. And we might see that level again, give or take. If we look at the Fibonacci retracement, then yeah, the 0.618 comes in quite exactly over there as well. And that's around, I think, like 30% cheaper than where we are right now. Yeah, like 35%. So it lines up with that same amount of drawdown that we've been talking about. So, you know, after crypto, that's the thing. A lot of people, they see crypto do this. Engine starter did a 10x, for example. They look at this and be like, okay. It has a 30% dip. Let's buy. Zoom out. You're buying the fucking cycle all-time high. Wait, patience is a bitch. But if you have it, then it's yeah, your bitch. Yeah, like yeah, then it works in your benefit. Then it works in your benefit, and it could take months to play out. But what would you rather, like buy here and see your portfolio go down month over month over month, or just wait, sit on your hands for a couple of months, and then get a great entry and ride the bull market? Um, Gala, I'm not buying Gala. Gala is a real lagger in this market, and it might do well, but so far that's shown like, hey, you could have better put your money somewhere else. So why would that suddenly change over the coming market? Games for a living. Um, yeah, it ran so hard, so I feel a little uncomfortable buying this, to be honest. It's really hard to say, but so far it's just showing strength. So if you like it, just DCA into it, I would say. Good morning, fam. That's a meme coin by Seedify. I love what they do. Bouncing off the bull market support band, very good, but also very new, very low cap. I don't know how TA is gonna work on this, to be honest. So I'm not even gonna talk about this. Just DCA, I would say. Illuvium, also not buying Illuvium, way too overpriced. But for the people that do like Illuvium, um, what we can see is that, you know, Illuvium had some big support here in 2022, went all the way down, tried to break above, resistance, all the way down again, and now we tried to break above it, and we got one close, but we got right back in it, and now we are below it again. Bouncing off of the bull market support band, so that's okay. I don't know how this thing keeps on moving. If it does something like this, right, then it could be interesting to see which way it breaks through. That depends on not on Illuvium. That depends on the stock market, because the Bitcoin depends on that, and Illuvium depends on Bitcoin, right? So it depends on the macro in general, in my opinion. Of course, they could have wicks once they have bad or good news, but overall, I would say if Illuvium is in this range, right? This is the range for Illuvium. You're now buying it way closer to the top side than the downside. So I'm not like, for me, it's a no at the moment. IMX, yeah, same story, by the way. IMX is also in some kind of a range, right? If we, you could look at it like it's a huge range, because this is kind of it, right? Between these white lines, this is how it's ranging. But there's smaller range in between, and these are the green boxes, and they are broke to the upside. So at least wait for it to retrace. By the time that happens, the bull market support band will be there. See how it holds. If it holds and it bounces, good entry. If it goes down, I would say wait, because then we could maybe buy it at the lower side of the range. And yeah, that's 50 cents, man. 60 maybe. It sounds like low. But then again, it went from there to the upside in a couple of weeks. So why can it go from the upside to the downside again in a couple of weeks? Like, it's still crypto, right? It's also not what I prefer. I have a good bag of IMX. But I can see it happen though. I can see it happen. Chain link, yeah. Also it was ranging and it never retested the range, right? So I would say retest and then we'll see. So far it's holding the bull market support band, which is good. So if you don't have any position and you feel like I want to get some, okay, wait for it to maybe touch the bull market support band. If you have TradingView, you can go to indicators, type in bull market, blah, 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 and you have it right there. So that comes in at around, $13 by then. It's now 15, so it's not that far, but you're buying it quite close to the top if you want to buy it right now. So I don't think that's that smart, to be honest. Falcon Forged. Also, it was ranging in here for so long and it hasn't retested it yet. It came close, but the retest wasn't there. I would say there's still a retest needed. So $5.20. Ronin is what I would like to buy, but if I look at this chart, I'll be like, oh, when? Ronin came from far, man. Came from far. Did a 10x already. And shit. Ronin. Let me see. 0.5 comes in exactly at this resistance right here. That's 140, 150. That should be my first target. Senate is an interesting project. I think that this could do really well. If I look at this chart, I'll be like, yeah, bull market support band, this resistance here, 11 cents, give or take, and then pray it holds. CDFI is at the moment, CDFI is sitting at its support, like, yeah, it's far from the bottom, right? But if you look at this green bar over here, let me remove this and you can see it better. If you look at this green bar, then you'll see we had so much support here. We had a little wick over here. We had big resistance over here. Now it broke and now it's bouncing over here as support as well. So you just see that this is a huge level, which could either mean that it bounces from here, or that if we go down hard. And if we do go down, I would say the first level should be somewhere in the region of like 220, 250, give or take, which is like 24-25% down as well, right? It's also where the bull market support band is by then. So around here, right? Around that, maybe here would be a good level for CDFI to get in. If we do take a quick look at Fibonacci retracement, yeah, it's exactly where the golden zone comes in as well, like perfect. So hey, it might bounce here. If it doesn't, 250 would be nice. Would be a huge short-term loss on my portfolio, as this is a huge holding, but then again, a huge buying opportunity as well. Shrapnel, yeah, I don't know why everybody is so bullish. I understand, but it's so fucking high valuated. I'm not interested in Shrapnel. And you can already see that it's really taking a bigger hit than other projects. It had a good blow off top, already almost down half. And I don't see this stop anytime soon. Maybe 21 cents, a little bounce, but other than that, I would say 15 cents. Sidus, we already had Sidus. Oh, there was Senate, of course. Fuck my life. But Sidus, I don't know, man. This is not a complete chart, so I cannot say much about that. As NFTs, CDFI NFT space. Let me take a quick look. This is paired with S-Fund. So if S-Fund goes down like 25%, then this could go down 25% as well, which would make sense. Around bull market support band, a lot of support over here, this wick. So that's around somewhere around 0.003, give or take. And if it really goes bad, then 2, right? But that's 50% down from this point, right? So you better hope that holds. By the way, if this happens, I'll already say it. How can I say that without making it sound like financial advice? I am buying a lot of fucking SNFTs over here. A lot. Because this is such a gem and it is already so low cap. So, just saying. Solana, you know, to be honest, anywhere in this region, I'm not buying Solana. Definitely not. It is so expensive right now. It is so high valuated considering the market stage that we are in right now. I love Solana, don't get me wrong. It's fast, it's cheap, it's one of the best chains I ever used. But come on, it's like freaking expensive right now. So yeah, no, with Solana, I feel like, okay, down 25%. That is a big level though. That's around here. And as you can see, support over here, resistance over here. That's $76, give or take. Other than that, huge support comes in at $50 or so. Yeah. $70. I don't know about Solana. I am at least not buying if it's anywhere close to $90. Let me put it like that. Spartadex, you know, Spartadex is. Here we go. Let's fix that. Beautiful, by the way. 0.618 hit, bounced, up. Crazy how that works. Fibonacci retracement. I kid you not. It works so well. Copy these settings if you want to use it yourself. Pause the video, copy it, use it. Beautiful. So what you do is you take it from the bottom side of the current run, basically, to the top side, right? And then you can predict where it might go. So if we just got rejected right here, you could say like, okay, the 0.618 comes in at here at 56 cents. So you can maybe place your buy order right there. If you did, you were already up 30%, right? That's how it works. It's not, of course, always accurate, but it's really good. Yeah, anywhere around 56 cents if it goes back there is beautiful, to be honest. Superverse, it looks like it wants to push higher, man. It's incredible. Can I see? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, big support at around 55 cents. What I find scary now about Superverse is it just did a 11x and it had no retest. I find that scary, man. After such a pump, usually it retests at least like this level and then goes up more. But it didn't happen yet. And it is really showing strength right here. So maybe it might not happen, but I am not buying here. If you already have a bag, congratulations. I'm not buying. Uniswap, for the people interested in Uniswap, I would say it looks more like the XRP chart because it is not doing anything. It has been ranging for like 2 years already, between like, well, yeah, $8 and $4. If you're looking to trade this higher time frame, perfect. You know, buy, sell, buy, sell. You make a lot of money, but investing in this, no, I don't know. Ultra, test, yeah. Look, Ultra has been lagging as well. But I think, especially with the gaming hype, Ultra needs to catch up at some point. But it is not a super bullish chart, right? It's still lower lows and lower highs. So Ultra, it is not the best buy. But maybe now it is, right? Maybe now finally we have that move up from Ultra. But yeah, that's what you could have thought everywhere. And you would have made lower lows, lower highs. And in the meantime, you missed out on stuff that did went up. So it's hard to say. But yeah, it is testing the bull market support band right now. When we were here, we were below it. Now we are at least above it. And, you know, huge. This whole green area right here is a huge support, right? You can take it back to this point as well. You can make it even bigger, by the way. You can take it here or so. Huge support, this whole area. I would say dollar cost anywhere between like 15 cents and 20 cents, and you will be fine. But yeah, or you will be fine, at least if Ultra finally catches up. VRA, also big lagger, doesn't do much. For 1.5 years it has been going, well, at first it went down and now it just goes sideways. At least it's other than Ultra because, hey, up. Yeah, so there are at least higher lows, right? That's at least something, but lower highs. So I don't know if we can take this back any further. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Usually this is a pattern that breaks to the upside, but it could not happen for a half a year from now, right? The thing is though that the crypto market cannot use a big hit because Veracity is already sitting at support, and if it breaks, then I would say it's very close to at least go to 3.6. It's now at 5.3. But maybe even retesting the lows. Whack Me Games. After this video, I'm gonna buy this. I love Whack Me Games. And I don't know, man. It finally took that hit, right? It went up too fast, too hard, too much, right? Whack Me did a 6.5x in a matter of October till December, in 2 months, right? And yeah, then usually this is what you get, down 65%, right? Now, will it go lower than this? Yeah, probably. But this is for me a project that I have like almost no interest or allocation in. Therefore, I need to DCA. But yeah, every important Fibonacci retracement level has been broken. So it is not unlikely for WAGMI to revisit the lows, or at least the area of the lows. Keep that in mind. It's a very wiki chart, so it's hard to say something logical about it because it looks like it is super run by bots and manipulation and low liquidity. Otherwise, the chart doesn't wick like this. But if, look, this where we are right now, well, what we are breaking right now, depends on how you draw it, is should be some good support, right? We went below it, touch, like hard, and then break. We went below it, and then range, below, and then we're here again, range, for like long time, range. And now we're here again. So could it be at least a little bit of support, right? And then take this as a range. Hey, this is a 2x range, right? From 1.3 to 2.6. So work me, yeah, I'm gonna buy some. And if it goes lower, cool, I'm gonna buy more. And if it goes low, I'm gonna buy more. I trust the team, trust the project, mobile gaming, love it. Yeah, that's it for this video. I want to make more coins and price targets, but there's too much, and I'm having a sore throat, and nobody likes this anyway because everybody feels like, oh, but crypto is up only. Okay, then just buy and go all in as you wish, sir. But sometimes things go down, as you can see. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. Bye bye.